Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm OP, and in today's episode we'll be going over some of the best highlights from all of the LCK Spring matchups of the day. Without further ado, let's dive straight into the action.
Already half a plate. It's BDD. Already has to flash here in this mid lane. Thank you, Jonas Strong, for letting us know. And that is 120 health that he is down to, as Sylvie can just hop over this wall. This is so dangerous. And he is going to be spotted. Vault Breaker going to come on through there. Oh no! Just doesn't even find the fast bomb as Sylvie's able to walk it off, and that's first blood.
Yeah, no fast bomb. Challengers, he was playing behind Castle a lot of the time when it was Renekton meta, so we just don't have a ton of information about how comfortable he is on this pick.
No, Sylvie. Yeah, in a lot of trouble here as he does have the Aftershock that is now not going to be doing anything. BDD in the fog of war. Fiesta's moving on over, but Sylvie is just going to be taken down first. That's a kill for BDD. Oh, yikes. Disaster for Nongshim, and now Fiesta, he's going to try and get back to the minion wave, and thankfully that rocket is not going to land. That one does, though, and pyosik is just going to find the crash down on top of him. Magnus Storm to keep the way in place. He does manage to get a fear, but I don't think he's getting out of the way of this one. That's a cheeky little auto, and even pyosik going to live through it just fine.
For the wall, didn't have it in the tri-brush, so is able to see Peter there and react.
Yep.
And they're losing control of this very quickly. I mean, BD is ready.
Yeah, Arrow is going to connect. Package is going to be delivered. They do manage to get a red buff, but Sylvie makes it out. Now Peter, he goes in, but he's on top of the package. He just took so much damage. And now Perfect's going to show up. He's going to be that front line. And yes, piercing arrows land, the way damage lands, but the front line not going to be able to offer too much. And Dindin not even there. No teleport available. That will mean that this second dragon goes over to KT, and I'm really glad.
By the time he shows up, he's like, I'm getting in there, I'm going to turn this. But then he goes over the packages. Jiwoo's in trouble.
He is in a lot of trouble as he is going to cleanse the slow, but there's a flash volley to come in, and Deft, he already had that auto attack in the air, so even after the flash, Jiwoo is still dead. BDD did
travel.
Yeah, and how fast they come off cooldown as well. As, all right, perfect. Going to throw down the Dominus. Here's a Hex Splash over from Peter, who gets amongst it, but he doesn't really want to hook pyosik. Now BDD, he gets in amongst it. It's not really that good of a Magnet Storm, but Peter just explodes. What was that? Now Beryl is chasing Fiesta down. Jiwoo comes in, but doesn't hit the Chains of Corruption. The Crocodile is still going to fall, and they lock down the Rift Herald, and somehow pyosik just exits.
I mean, he's Rel. He's going to get those, and he does, and he gets away because he has Flash, and now Jiwoo is isolated.
Beryl is just chasing him down. Now, BDD is in here as Fiesta wants to come on over. Crushing Maw does come on through. Oh, the Vault Breaker is avoided by BDD! And even sidesteps that one, finds the rocket. pyosik comes back in again. He's like, I flashed out. That might have been a mistake because I kind of want to fight here. It's Dindin. He'll show up. He has more than half of his health bar.
For back, I mean, BDD has TP as well. He can back. And Fiesta, I mean, can he clear this wave? Looks like with a TP, the answer is no.
Yep, not going to be able to. Flashes over the Shattering Strike. That's definitely good, but he can't flash that because he doesn't have to. And there goes the way. Is that going to be enough to get them a Baron? I don't think so. I mean, it's a Corky composition, but it's KT. Going to be able to spot this one out just yet.
It's
there,
Callisto,
finally.
you know?
The vision is going to be there, and like you say, they've got the Rend for the added security, but they've also got pyosik on Rel. So, I mean, this is not a 50-50. This should be more like an 80-20. Let's see what Nongshim can actually do to try and mitigate it. The rocket's not necessarily landing as there's the Fate's Call onto Beryl. Cease and desist does come in, but Sylvie, he's so incredibly low, he's taken down as the Baron just ignored now. The Callista will be taken out. Jiwoo finding himself some relative safety, and there's a Cassante, and he is starting to pop off in this one. Jiwoo just untouched, and KT are on the floor.
Yeah, I thought that was a really nice engage from Nongshim. It was really clean. The flank comes through, and they end up blowing Deft.
I just thought it was maybe a bit too early for this particular composition to go for it. KT, of course, feeling that they did have a large advantage, and they still do. The Red Bull Baron power play already at 1,500, but Nongshim are still pretty far behind. Soul Point available as Fiesta going to take an arrow to the face, and the package also burning him down. Still, they are able to take down the Corky, but in goes pyosik. That Magnet Storm is so much better as Sylvie dives in, but it is more of just a sacrifice, and Perfect is going to get his revenge as Peter and pyosik going to be fighting. Oh, gets in front of the dredge line. Nicely done there from pyosik. And Peter will be taken out with the help of Beryl. And that is going to be the ace.
This fight just illustrates that Nongshim need a lot more. Setup. They need a flank when they're this far behind. They just don't have the tools to fight KT in the neutral. When KT get to fight on their terms with a package, it's not even a fight. It's a slaughter. Not even close. Nongshim had that one heroic fight on the Baron. We'll give them that. That was a really nice flank from Sylvie.
They're still here. And this is 6 grubs, remember?
Yeah, they're just going to win the game.
There's 1 second left on to Fiesta, but there's only 1 Nexus turret left. Ah, okay, well, I mean, this game went from, like, Nongshim just managed to take a Baron, but to over. Now it's over.
It's over. They got him. And you know what? I mean, that last fight on the Dragon, we kind of, like, came out of a replay that we... And kill you as the Rakan in this draft, and I think locking the Zeri down is definitely what you want. So Barrel's going to get a lot of value, actually, having the R5 support counter pick here, not knowing what the 80 carry was going to be, is able to confirm Zeri and then have the best. Yesterday, we had the kind of surprise 2-0, another good flip for Genji, kind of crushing T1. I'm going to hold my thought on this, as Dundon is in danger.
He is in a lot of danger. Is Perfect going to come on over. Does get the Q onto Pyosik, though, as you can see. Voltbreaker comes in as Pyosik going to have to try and get out of here, but he's unable to, and that is going to be first blood going to Dundon as KT have a little bit of an accident underneath the turret.
Bit of a whoopsie, bit of a...
So, KT unable to grab a kill down there towards the bottom side, and the gold is dead even. Neck and neck between these 2 squads.
The problem...
Okay, it might be... This might make it not as neck and neck as... Perfect is chasing after Dundon, and there's now a big old wall that's in the way. He is dashing, though. That all out onto BDD was fantastic. Absorbs the CC. The flash comes forward from BDD as now Dundon still running, but the threaded volley will track him down, and that is a kill for the mid laner on KT.
So good at Talia into Calmy, who's had arguably the roughest laning phases next to Satabs probably this season. And so these advantages are just really starting to give KT such an edge. There's another flip.
Yeah,
Barrel.
He's going to come on through. That is beautiful delivery from BDD. Nothing that Calmy could do about that whatsoever. And that is going to be another one.
Was here, and he was, which you could have seen on the fringe there, and he just goes down.
Yeah, and it's a Talia, so like you say, has to be a flash. All right, Beryl not going to quite find a hook here. A cease and desist into the back line as immediately the Talia is taken down. Deft is somewhat free hitting, but he has to flash to get out of there because we are having a Zeri moment. And Jiwoo going to be able to take down the Dragon. What is it with grouping around objectives and KT all going boom?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, and we didn't really get the full story of it because we jumped out of the...
She's up in the sky. And so therefore, not going to be a very happy Deft in that particular fight, and especially not a happy BDD is, okay, Calmy going to dive on top of Beryl here, who does manage to get the aftershock, but otherwise, yeah, he's really dead. That is 4 versus Nautilus.
All right.
In the mid game, then you're doing something wrong, and Nongshim, they're not doing anything wrong. Not yet, anyway. As Beryl, he's going to throw his anchor away, does have to use his ult onto Jiwoo with no one around. It's a decent seismic shove, but now Jiwoo's taking matters into his own hands. Deft, no Featherstorm, remember, and he does look for it, but he's not going to find it. Jiwoo down to about 100 as BDD gets to the relative safety of his turret, but does not find the seismic shove.
Nongshim making this mid-game work. I thought for sure Jiwoo wins. Seems in this mid-game, I think, playing very disrespectfully around the power of this Ahri, and now an accelerated Zeri.
Oh, not going to do anything. I think that relied on that hook landing. Beryl and BDD trying to get this communication sorted out. We mentioned already that ult plus seismic shove combo is really important. Beryl does find a hook there, but that seismic shove, that's not going to hit Beryl. That's not going to move him back as Featherstorm going to lift Deft up into the air, but then he has to fall all the way back down to the death chamber. And Nongshim, they are running away with this in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, they actually have follow-up, but you don't. And Jiwoo's there, he's going to press R.
All right, speaking of pressing R, Sylvie is going to press it onto this Gwen, who I think had managed to make her way out of the game moderately throughout the turn. They don't need to worry about that. They can take themselves this soul point. It is a Chemtech Dragon, so unfortunately Orcs did drop the ball on it here.
A little bit of lackluster vision control right now for Nongshim.
Yeah, and Nongshim had their AD carry in the bottom lane. They will spot this out, but this is a fair bit of damage going into the Baron. Calmy now. Moving on over, teleport in from Dundon, and Perfect, he's already shown up, so it is going to be a 5v5. In goes Calmy, but he gets hooked! There's the seismic shove combo, finally they find it! It is going to be the Baron locked up, and now Jiwoo, is this going to be the Zeri moment as he flashes? I don't know about that one, and he's torn apart out by the Viego. Now the all out from Dundon, but I just don't think it's going to be enough.
No
and
way.
Everything you can do, I can do better, Wolf, I guess is how this one goes. Because Nongshim were in complete control, just like KT in game 1. And then a Baron, and then it's now the game's going to be over in 3 minutes and Nongshim win.
I don't know about that. I think this is a different scenario. BDD gonna get the shove here. He's totally fine. He actually wins these. Pyoshik's here. Dindin is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he's running out of dashes this time around. He does see what's ahead of him, but I don't know about that because he's walking the wrong direction, ladies and gentlemen. Deft is now towards this top side. He's going to be able to take down this inner turret. Teleport is going to come through from Call Me, so that is going to save that one as Dindin
Pyoshik.
well and truly merry jaunt as there is the kill on Dindin. Beryl is going to shake his
For this chem tag.
Yeah, exactly. KT not wanting to let that one go over as Nongshim with that soul point, there's so much extra power as, of course, Beryl is just going to Hex Flash over. Nice Charm is going to connect, though, as the Gwen damage pretty high. Dindin struggling to get over this wall as BDD can't quite find the CC, but still, that is Wild Growth used onto a Cassante. And so now Jiwoo so much more vulnerable, and they just give up the Chemtech Drake. But really smart from Nongshim, because they can. They can give up as...
Facing as KT once again to start the Baron, but this time Nongshim are much closer, and Call Me does have teleport.
Yep, so does Perfect, so they can follow. But look, it's just gone. It is just wiped out. The Extendo Beam almost made it, but KT just kind of highway. We're at robbery, and in goes Sylvie. Decent assist comes down, but Def just puts him away. The Viego's taken out, though. There's the ulti from Jiwoo. Has to flash out immediately. The all-out, the change position. That was so weird, but there's the Featherstorm as Def tries to get underneath the turret. Flashes out of the way, but Jiwoo is still up and still so dangerous. My God, BDD almost does it, but it is not enough, and it's a Quadra for the Zeri. There's the moment you were talking about, Wolf.
It just keeps happening, man. This game feels so predictable to me as Jiwoo ends up getting in there, avoids that.
He did get caught out that one time, but he learned from that mistake, and we can give him one.
Beryl is really your best bet of trying to front to back and blow somebody up. You just need time if you're KT with this Gwen and the Talia Leandri's damage.
Well, there's a Weaver's Wall, and Pyoshik not going to be able to steal away the Drake, as the Heartbreaker did bring him in there, thankfully. Oh, the Charm! It is going to go wide, as now Deft has to use the Featherstorm, but then Cease and Desist is going to come through. The Zeri's going to lock him down, and now it is just all Nongshim. Protect the Jiwoo is the thing, and the GA was put to great use there, as we could see. BDD going to be wiped out. That's a triple kill. And Nongshim will now march up the
Big glow up when we got to mid-game. Call Me, yeah, he's 20 CS down on BDD. He is not active in the lane. He's got no power there, but when he gets active on the map and they take control, they get this area ahead. Sure, there were some rocky moments, but ultimately this area is just too big to fail.
Yep, and this Gwen was not immune. The Nexus turrets will fall down, and Nongshim will bring us to a game 3. Really bouncing back after, you know, what was a pretty weird ending to game 1, a weird series beforehand.
You link CC together to make sure that Def just cannot play the game, cannot actually get that damage done. But counter-wise, there's such an insane front line here, and re-engage for KT is insane.
As well, face-checking at Talia is very, very dangerous. So this could be our first scuffle. Bit of a 4v4 at 3.5 minutes. You love to see it. Hook going to come down. That is going to be the blue buff for Pyoshik, but there's the seismic shove. Deft is able to pick up first blood as well, and it's a disaster so far for Nongshim. The flash forward, the double kill. Deft is going to go down, but he's probably going to type worth in all chat as Jiwoo is almost going to fall. Not quite going down. It's the Gromp! The Gromp! No! Nongshim's worst enemy! The Gromp! Oh, no! Oh! A bit different when it is KT, but let's have a look at this again.
Yeah, I mean, look at Call Me rotating over here, and BDD can surf. He gets over here so fast, and then this engage from Sylvie with Peter on top of him means that BDD gets the shove back, flashes away so no one can punish him, and then Sylvie's down. Deft will be traded, of course, for this, but then the Gromp. The Gromp.
Yeah.
Call Me did it to him too. Call Me pissed off the Gromp.
Oh no! Alright, we're gonna listen.
Not bad.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
그겁이 뭐냐고.
What are you doing?
He deals with the minion wave. And he's now going to look forward. Okay, there is a seismic shove as he goes down to 50% health. But now Nongshim, they have their eyes on the prize. They're looking for BDD, who flashes over the wall. Now Deft diving in. He has the ulti running as Jiwoo just getting shot by these burst fires over and over. BDD doesn't want to be tanking up this dragon anymore. There was the hook. Somehow lands onto Deft. The Drake is going to be taking another two-man shove from a 50 health to Leah, but still the Vi is going to go down. There's a flash forward from Jiwoo. Deft, he didn't have the skate and he can't get over that wall. Seismic shove once again as BDD throws Call Me exactly the right direction. And Nongshim, they win.
His 2 kills is a question that I don't think is going to be answered necessarily in this fight. Deft gets another plate.
Oh dear.
And they have no idea.
Yeah, and there is a Drake up and available as well. If this dive was actually successful, is Seismic Shove going to connect onto Peter? There's the Magnet Storm over the wall, and Jiwoo just barely pulled in. Cease and desist will be the end of him. And right when I was talking about the fact that the dive wasn't going to happen, it absolutely does.
Good shove. Dragon as well for some additional stats. As Sylvie, I don't know about this one.
Well, he was trying to go for a cheeky little smite, and in fact, Nongshim do push them away. The health bar
Top, and there's no answer for Nongshim. I don't care how much damage Tristana puts on this turret, it's not going to be worth.
No, and especially not when he spends most of the time being shoved around by BDD. And just to hold on to him is perfect. Actually, look at it. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
He's just not going to be able to make that one work. Sort of tries to ult, but then ults into the wall and then dies because he's getting a purple. Shelly going to be ridden here down the mid lane.
Yeah, they didn't commit it topside, but they will get it here mid.
Yep, looking for that bit of extra damage as Dundun's making his way in. Weave as well just delivers BDD to the fight as Dundun gonna get thrown around. The Seismic Shove misses. That's very important for Dundun, but it's just gonna buy him a few seconds of time as Beryl soaks the CC. The Acathian Rain, oh my goodness, Call Me gonna get thrown back in as Peter trying to be the hero. Killer Instinct, okay, as Jiwoo, he oversteps, but he still manages to help get the kill onto Deft. It's not going to win them the fight, but it at least achieved the objective that he was after. It's just still Nongshim trading down once again.
Yeah, truly.
You go to the bathroom before a KT series every time.
Yes.
And in some other series, you know that you can take a bit of a break, right? In a pro series, in the mid game, you can take a break. You can go to the bathroom. Not here, because we are fighting once again. Call Me is going to get ulted into the backline as Perfect is just 1 versus 5, and he doesn't really like those odds. It's still going to take a while for him to go down, but go down he will. And that is going to be a 1-for-0. And BDD, they were picking a team fight. And that is not what they were prepared for, as Beryl might not have been prepared for this either, as okay, he's kind of by himself, but he does have the rest of the crew turning up. Killer Instinct does come in, Beryl goes down as Deft has ulted, but he has to contend with Dundun, and I think he might be able to do that. Sylvie's extraordinarily low, and now Perfect is looking to lock down the rest of them. The Udyr will be taken out, and now is it just Baron time? I guess maybe it is, as without Call Me, Jiwoo is pretty low as well, almost. Oh, it actually does have his flash available. It was Call Me that almost had his up. And so can Peter and Jiwoo get something done? Some lower health bars, but without Sylvie in the area, he was just too low. He's trying to test this Baron, so it's going to be taken down.
Kaiser can't do anything to this Cassante. I mean, he's trying to steal potentially with the W of Void Seek, and that will be the Baron going over to KT.
And now it could even be the Mountain Soul, as that's up in about 40 seconds. As Pyoshik looks for Call Me here. Cease and desist is going to come down, but it's a battle on 2 fronts. Perfect going to dive right in, and that means Jiwoo has to hit him. He can't hit the squishy members of KT. And now Peter going to get thrown back. The buffer was decent, and he's actually going to keep himself alive, but the tree not going to be so lucky. Deft Killer Instinct flashes on in, and is going to be able to take down Call Me, and I think that might have been the back-breaking moment. If it
I mean, they pushed up super far. They didn't get an inhibitor. They could just easily walk out now. And Nongshim, I mean, there's just not really an angle to turn on this. They probably should just respect the fact that these 3 members could buy enough time for BDD.
Oh, there's a cease and desist. They just threw the tree.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, into the brush. And I think Nongshim, like, trying to look for something with KT split, but the problem is they have no information. KT, they can see all of these plays coming from a mile away, because they have everything in the area. Of course, they actually don't have very much vision because they haven't gone back to reset in a really long time. But there's only so many places Nongshim can come from, because the map for them is so small.
They're just so tanky, you can't pick anyone.
Yeah.
Tooth, but it just doesn't hurt people.
Well, this wall also doesn't hurt people, but it does put people in positions to get hurt, as Pyoshik goes so deep onto Jiwoo, but he can just tank them up. They have to just run away, as now Call Me, he's gone the wrong direction. He was thinking about trying to back, as he does manage to sidestep the Vault Breaker, gets himself the reset, but it just doesn't matter. Pyoshik able to lock that one down. Basically a solo kill there as a few assists did manage to come on through, and KT will collect this Baron. And I think it might just be game over. 9,000 gold is the lead. It's another Baron, so that is going to be over 10k after the purple worm goes down. It's just one of those games. We'll see whether it does have enough time in it, as this Nexus turret going down is telling me that maybe we won't get to a third James Bond, as pulled in is Dundon, and oh no, he's not as tanky as anyone on KT, as Cease and Desist goes in on top of the Tristana. Jiwoo's going to be pulled out by the all-out of Perfect, who's underneath the turret for quite some time. Peter evaporates though, and it's a triple kill for Deft. KT chasing for kills here is probably not recommended, because there's a game they could win, but instead they're angry. They're going to get the Quadra for Deft.
They could maybe get a Penta here on the Sylvie.
Yeah, trying to keep Sylvie in combat here is the best that they can do, but I don't know whether they can do it for quite long enough.
I don't know.
All right, okay, they're slowing him down as much as they can. Deft, can you get in there? The burst fire comes down, the seismic off, and that is the pentakill for Deft. The longest extension on a penta I've seen in a while, but he'll take it. And that is KT with the series.
Pentakill for Deft. BDD is crushing the early game.
Only option that you have. And I'm very interested to see how this one is going to go, because I think Kingen and Rascal are kind of in a similar camp when it came to playing top lane Volibear. I think Rascal a little bit more well known for.
Take this Gromp away and maybe catch a rotating aiming. I really like this play from Willer.
Yeah, they might actually be able to catch aiming out, as he does wander up here. And he is going to get twisted advanced on aiming. Just going to press the cleanse button though, and now execute. He's going to get snared, and that is first blood so comfortably for Lucid. And now Willer, nowhere to go, gets knocked up and gets taken down. That's aiming, grabbing that one, and Dplus, two swift
kicks, as well as the Cassante. And with all the grass stacks coming through as well, he's just going to be actually relevant, unlike the jungle Volibears. As meanwhile...
Yeah, Execute's going in once again, but now Showmaker is here to help out, and Execute is just dead. He's been picking his times, but unfortunately they've just all been wrong. Going to be a leash, as Willer just accepts that that one's not going to happen. He's going to take his Crow Camp, and then maybe wander over to the ever so dangerous Gromp. Or just look for a little Karma, just going to always be dealing with minions, just conga lining towards you over and over again.
And Viego had to play around bottom side and didn't find any success, so that duo synergy, which is tough in the Karma anyways, oh boy.
Oh, there's a huge ulti from King, and I guess so, as he's going to be taken out. Can they get more though is the question, as Closer is just having a party, and it's a double, make it a triple for Henna, as Dplus just go way too deep.
Find a way to make some errors happen down there from time to time. Very optimistic play here from Dplus. If it works out, they basically just close this one out off of it, but instead they actually give Henna the opportunity to be relevant.
Big.
Yeah, and Clear is staying. I mean, he might actually be able to put some serious damage on this top inner. He's going to deny a lot of CS at least.
Yeah, and gold lead actually in favor of FearX towards the end of this. Teleport to come through for Clear. As Closer just ults his way over. That is going to be the steal for Willer, and that's going to be successful. Very nicely done. As now Callan, oh my god, Clear just finds all of them with that W, but look at Dplus. They just regroup, and Kingen is impossible to damage. They need to try and find a way to do damage past this Volibear.
And it looks like Showmaker just mantra shields the entire team as Clear goes on top of them and denies that damage. Just try to hard force skirmishes, and I think that's absolutely what this comp wants to do, but it needs an Ahri with it.
Well, Clear could be in trouble here, as there are a lot of feathers being thrown around. A huge teleport to come in from Kingen, as he's looking to get that flank angle. Clear is going the wrong direction, so he's likely going to be taken down. The question is,
now Dplus have full control over Baron. He may have to teleport in. There he goes.
Immediately he is going to teleport forward. Clear doesn't have his teleport crucially, so he won't be able to reach this fight as soon as he spawns. He's going to have to run his way over there. Willer still trying to get in there for the steal. Should still be a 50-50 as Nature's Grasp does come down. Closer looks for the angle. Showmaker gets taken down solo. The battle dance. Kellen just absolutely taking control of the fight as the Baron's going to be secured now for Dplus. And aiming and Kellen, they've gotten to relative safety, and it looks like Lucid will just sacrifice himself for his teammates. Henna picks up another kill, but that is a Baron on 3 members. So can he actually find himself Nature's Grasp to actually win out on this fight? Ocean Drake has been started off. Q connecting with no one in particular here for Showmaker as Execute now going to find the roots. Throws them forward and now closes dashing in with a Spirit Rush. That's a huge third Q to come through from Clear as Execute. Even able to get that kill, but they trade one back. The jungler taken out. That's going to mean that Soul Point goes over to Dplus. And now Lucid's able to protect Showmaker here as well. And Close is going to have to run for the hill. Still Clear looking for another opportunity. Featherstorm going to be used here for aiming. As he pulls the feathers back. Henna's still alive, so they can still fight this.
To back with Kalista when he's so low range, and this is kind of the problem that we were talking about with the draft for the Xayah, because in team fights, if Henna gets on top of you, you're gonna have a big problem, and Showmaker may stop it back. Or
Closer will just find a charm. There's the Spirit Rush, and he's just dead. Okay.
Did he have a minion on the base?
He had arm guard.
How did Closer actually see? Very annoying Kasate, as you can see here from aiming. Meanwhile,
yeah, got another fight here as Kellen going to be taking a fair bit of damage. He's going to be CC'd up, but it's a trade of supports. Both of them going down now as Willa turns into a Rakan, gets a decent grand entrance. As Closer tagged by the Wind Becomes Lightning, Lucid wanting that extended Audacious charge, but exactly right. Charm is going to connect there onto Kingen, but he is the one that just does not care about those charms. He's got a lot of tenacity, but he also has that Spirit Visage like we were talking about. He is running towards Willa. And that is about it. Flank angle once again. Closer still wanting to find that opportunity and should be able to get on through there. It's Clear that starts up the fight though, and that's a very early Featherstorm, an opportunity now. But aiming, just going to get protected. Everyone just moving up to him. Execute tries to get in, but you can see aiming creates all the space. Showmaker not going to be so lucky though, as Henna is going to be able to pick up a swift double. And now Kingen just running back towards his bottom lane. And oh, no, Closer. Okay.
He's okay.
Going to live. He's going to be.
And trading for Baron kind of out of the question at this point. Just going to try to clear up some vision there. Teleport instantly from Closer as they pick up this, and they want to group towards Baron. On the other side, they've got clear vision around this pit. They know Lucid isn't even alive. There's just no play here for Dplus with nothing for aiming. No ability to contest.
Yeah, and this Baron, no contest whatsoever. Of course, Lucid is a million miles alive. Gonna have to be the aim of the game for all of the members of Dplus.
Punishing a flank of Closer could be one way if Kellen's brave enough to look for something like that. Willer also on a bit of a flank himself.
Control TP absolutely everywhere though. This is an interesting TP from Clear to find the flank angle as Closer dives in, but everyone is on top of him. That Zonya's is extremely high value, and so is the Fate's Call as Henna finds it and Execute is going to execute. Featherstorm comes in for aiming, but the Blade Caller does nothing. And now the resets fly in. FearX are going to dominate the team fight, and they'll take game one.
I mean, that was such a cool, rough early game, but he gets high value in that fight as well, and Dplus will fall. Massive comeback win here. This looked unplayable at 10 minutes here for FearX, but they did not crumble under the pressure. What a story of a resilient team that is on a massive losing streak. They will get it done in game one. Did not see this coming.
Nope, I was not ready for it, and Dplus are going to flounder. Look at Execute's face as well.
It feels pretty good about how this is going to be set up. The Clear can play aggressively topside with the Vi, try to shut down the Aatrox early. Maybe if Closer can get involved in some of those topside plays as well, get out of the Showmaker.
Have lane control on the top side of the map, so I think it was the smart call. As Closer, nice little hook shot onto Kingen.
Ooh, the slow comes through.
Yeah, Hextech Ultimatum coming on in here, and that is going to be some space bought for them. Magical Journey. I don't know about this, because then immediately, okay, the flash just brings him way too far out. Bramble Smash comes in. He wants to go onto the Magical Journey, but he's punched into the wall. And that is first blood going over to Willa. Now Henna taking some damage here towards the bottom side, but the snare doesn't land, and they just don't really seem to mind.
The journey was just a little bit too magical there. Likely at this moment in time, but it's looking hopeful.
It's definitely possible. As Showmaker's just going to flash towards Closer. That's a cast curse for you, ladies and gentlemen. As Closer, oh yeah, there it is. Lucid going to be able to lock that one down. Also had the Nature's Grasp there. So as we talk about FearX possibly win.
Interesting journey there. This needs to get a look. You know, this is a lot of plate gold going over. Lucid's in the area. Willer is spotted here. This is very awkward for FearX.
Lucid finds it there as Voltbreaker is going to be interrupted. That's going to bring out the flash as now Kingen moved over. Showmaker just soaking the threaded volley as, oh dear, there's a Tempered Fate. As Execute There's no way that he's making it into that 2. And he is going to be taken down. Clear was distracted by some red dots here towards his top side. I also don't think he would have really been able to help out, although he does have the ultimate.
And the difference here in what is being gained is quite large. Like, okay, Clear is also in trouble.
Yeah, this is going to be a real tough one. Does have Hextech Ultimatum, but he has no opportunity to use it, as aiming almost gets shoved back there by Closer. Probably would have just been.
Showmaker is going to clear that wave and come over here. Can they get a decisive call here on a pick is the real question.
All right, Chains of Corruption are going to connect onto Lucid here as Closer, making sure they're out of Twisted advance range. There he is, finally able to get on in and execute. Going to be the one to go down. That magical journey was not magical enough, and Henna is just going to get ripped to shreds. I'm not sure about that one, FearX. They had a plan, but it just wasn't a successful one. And then, yeah, they are going to be wiped out entirely. Showmaker able to lock down that kill as well. And there's a cease and desist as Willer is trying to make sure that Lucid cannot
count him up.
Kellen.
Magical journey.
Yeah, this is probably a dead catfish. He was sort of caught farming. Sometimes magical journey can be quite confusing. Takes a while for him to go down. It's a cloud
through the turret, so I think that thing is just gone. Kingen will be able to deny the same from happening here topside. Teleport commitment.
Oh dear, okay, Tempered Fate is going to disable the turret. It's like Volley Bears here in Spirit, but Kingen! He just kills him! And now the turret comes back alive once again! So they do manage to move out, they manage to take him down, it's only execute, and they'll get the turret as well, so it was a decent trade. About like late game split push win conditions and blah blah blah, but Dplus are snowballing with a center composition, and that means that we don't get to talk about that. Is now Hookshot going to be interrupted somewhat here by Lucid, who's still taking a fair bit of damage, and the Hextech Ultimatum is going to be pretty good, but of course he was never going to make their way over to them. Teleport is going to be invested here by Clear. This Hextech Ultimatum, if they do manage to find an angle for a fight, needs to be absolutely fantastic. As Kingen, second Q doesn't even come out here, waiting for another round. As the Baron is going to be ignored now. Oh, Closer! Yep, just caught. And the Tempered Fate does come in, so he can see the situation for a few moments. Is Clear not going to be able to do too much because Kellen will just devour aiming, so that Hextech Ultimatum he wanted to find is just gone. And Dplus have all the answers this game.
Yeah, I mean, the follow-up there, the damage just isn't there. Lucid is blocking Henna from doing anything.
As Clear, sorry, Kingen, just going to dash back over the wall, and they're going to get back to it. Now Nature's Grasp is flying towards Henna and Closer. Closer does manage to sidestep it there, but there is the first Nexus turret that's going to go down. Now Willer, cease and desist comes in, and that is at least that first kill, but Chains of Corruption somehow does not find anyone. Kingen went down relatively low, but there's the triple kill for Showmaker. Now Henna, he's trying to kite them underneath this turret, but the pushback on the Closer, the quadra kill for the Karma, and there it is, the pentakill for Showmaker's Karma.
The second of the season, this man is just popping off, and they were fish in a barrel for him. 10-0 and 4. Showboating at the end, as I think they could have ended it faster, but you know he was screaming Penta, and you know his team said, I will grant it to you. And we are going to 3. For them there in the bottom lane, where they will have to battle it out against this Ashe and the Caitlyn, which will severely outrange them. If they can avoid the roots, I mean, the lane is going to be pretty self-explanatory for
they're not too interested in trying to fight for this one, as Willer will be able to lock that one down. I think Lucid discovered that this was happening.
This is kind of a disaster. The Udyr is not supposed to lose this lane, especially not this hard.
I think Execution is calling, just really kind of working out here for Kingen as Lucid moves in. Clear, not necessarily diveable in a 2v2, but maybe it's just not a 2v2. As Slice comes in, the dice going to come out, and that is going to be first blood over to Kingen just like that. Gorgeously done. He'll take a plate for his troubles as well.
I mean, Clear doesn't even have teleport. He's going to lose so much farm here. The plate goes down, as you mentioned, and Willer has to clean this up, which means that it's free bubs going.
Kingen is pretty happy with the state of the lane right now.
Showmaker coming back in, picked up that item.
Yeah.
Poke is real.
Full information is going to come on through. The explosive charge not going to be charged whatsoever, as there is the Keeper's verdict. Over the wall. Oh, there's the flash in with the heroic charge, but Henna able to cleanse and flash, and he's out. But so is the rest of his team. There is no way they're contesting for this dragon. It is Chemtech Soul again. Plus, are going to be pretty comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, the health bars are starting to get low. Showmaker is poking them down. So good into Nico for this reason, the LeBlanc pick.
And Lucid just standing his ground, trying to make sure that FearX cannot find an angle. Willa does have paranoia, that's why he's the one that is given mid lane duty, as there is the Dominus. Keeper's verdict, let's see who it lands on there, as sent back is Closer.
Dragon secured though, and Dplus could just walk away.
And no more kills. So this bloodless game that they were talking about, Kellen really wanted to get that CS. Okay, Arrow going to connect here, but they are blind. Really understand who it actually connected on. It might have been a hawk shot that went through beforehand, or something like that for item number 3. I think it would be all right. As okay, Paranoia is going to be onto the Renekton. Okay, but the Nico ultimate is actually going to come through the arrow. It's not the one that we really wanted there. And the Renekton almost managed to kill Nico, but he is going to go down. Now it's Clear's turn. Okay, Lucid coming on in, but Udyr runs really fast. He's going to run really fast. Tank it relatively easily with Clear. So possibly a bait. I expect the turn will come in. There was an arrow there as immediately Henna is going to throw down the cleanse. And now Paranoia comes in. The Pop Blossom only lands onto one as Lucid had soaked a lot of damage. The heroic charge is pretty good as Willa is going to be taken out. But Closer is now popping off in the fight. Kellen is going to go down for the second as the resets start to come in. Can Showmaker actually manage to make this one work is the question. As Kingen was trying to get the work done, but does give up on trying to kill the backline and instead tries to save Showmaker, who almost gets in there, does manage to get back out again and execute. What can you get done here? Kingen dives on in, and the Udyr is just fighting the crocodile. Oh no, David, that is not what you wanted, but the stun is still going to be there. Oh man, he is just so tanky. And Showmaker is still here. The Baron is still here. Spin. No, he's not going to, because he might just kill himself. As there's the slice, and the Baron is not going to. Last hits in the past as Clear. Oh god. Showmaker finished death cap as he got back home. As arrows crisscrossing with the bullets. Very, very cute there as we've got a clash of eras here on the bottom side of the map.
Udyr is not winning anything.
All right, there's a Pop Blossom. The Fates call Pop Blossom. That was so sick. There is the Poppy going down. Paranoia comes in. Kingen has got GA Sterix. You're not going to kill him. And they are going to kill
Plus here, they think they can start this up. There's no ult for execute on the turn. Kingen still has GA. A lot of work to do for Showmaker, though, to carry this fight.
Yeah, they are definitely not going to be able to steal this one away. So FearX, they collect themselves the Baron.
Control the most important objective in the game. See what Dplus can find here is Showmaker unable to get any poke done as this dragon spawns.
Yeah, Control Ward goes into the pit though, so at least they do have full vision. The Drake is going to be pulled out. I love this proactivity from FearX.
It's Callista, you're on a clock, Dplus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're going to have to really find some way of engaging. There's the arrow. It's going to interrupt the Pop Blossom, but it manages to land into the Renekton into the back line anyway. He's got a GA, remember, but Lucid, he's on the Dragon, and they are just not going to be able to get in there. The Tristana also falls down. The Flash Heroic Charge is fantastic, but the cleanse is there from Henna, but he is eaten by a Dragon from above. And Dplus, they just take it all. The burn comes on through and execute. Okay, not going to die just this time as well. The bamboozlement, the bamboozler herself was then ultimately bamboozled.
I cannot believe the Ash Arrow just ruins the day for FearX, and that is all it takes. Dplus are going to win the series.
They are. Execute's going to go golden, but he is then going to die. And with Elder and with all of this, it is going to be aiming, just grabbing all of these kills. Nexus turret's going to go down now with 280 carries and a LeBlanc. This is not going to take very long at all. And as we crest the 40-minute mark, Dplus KIA will pick up the 2-1 victory over FearX in what was one of the stranger games that we've seen, with one of the most surprising.
These were some of the best highlights from all of the LCK Spring matchups of the day. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.